Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's HaQ&A video. And yeah, so before I get into the questions this week, we'll probably still end up discussing for quite a while, but there don't seem as many this week as usual. So I wanted to... I still have a fever. I've had it for like a week now, since last Wednesday, and here it is Wednesday again. But also I wanted to talk about, I have an exam on Friday, and I have a couple of projects due. I have so much stuff to do, but that's pretty much how it's been all semester. But the thing is, because of that, because of the exam Friday, who knows when I'll post stuff, who knows how much I'll be able to post, that sort of thing. And also for the part 2 of my 250 sub special, I got finished writing it and everything. I wanted to record it today, and I finished taking my notes for it, and I wanted to record it today, but I don't have enough daylight left, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to risk it, I'll just record it tomorrow. So that'll be up tomorrow at the soonest, maybe Friday or Saturday though. Yeah, I think I might actually be able to post it tomorrow though. So tomorrow, Friday or Saturday, keep an eye out for that. And then for the final third part of it, maybe that'll be my top 22 favorite anime I've ever seen. That'll be early next week, I hope, but maybe late next week. I have no idea what Thanksgiving is going to do to what we're doing here with uploading. So we're just in a big confusion. All of next week is a big confusion zone. I don't know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. I don't know when I'll be doing anything. So if that affects posting, sorry, but I don't know if it will or not yet. I have no idea. So yeah, let's get into starting to actually read these questions and discuss them and stuff. This week, I feel like we have some Mahou Shoujo Weeks, aka Kaku. I feel like it's mostly... we got a little bit of Pokemon too, I think. I think it's mostly Tower of God though, but I'm not sure. Let's get into it and see what we've got. Anime Watcher said, I did some rethinking on the power scale between Yuri and Karaka. We already know that Yuri has already achieved high ranker status, owns the Black March and Green April, and is currently in the 500s. Compared to that, all we know about Karaka is that he has his own subgroup within FUG and he's already a Slayer. My theory is that his status as a Slayer was the most recent and likely the weakest compared to the other Slayers. I'd forgotten about there being more than one Slayer for each family head. It makes me curious to see what the other Slayers are like and what they're capable of. I think you meant only one Slayer for each family head? Yeah, I'm not sure what you meant. But yeah, there are 11 Slayers, one for each family head and one for Zahard. So we have been told that Yuri and Karaka are both young and they're both quickly rising in rank, so I kind of consider them about the same level. But from the fight and what we've seen so far, I guess I'd say maybe Yuri's a little bit stronger based on the fight. But even then, it's not like a huge difference. They're still pretty relatively close in strength. And yeah, I think that's all I've got. Yeah, that's all I got. As for the other Slayer's strengths, the only other Slayers we know of are Immort, who's the guy that owns the Mad Dogs? Baylord Yama. We got Baylord Yama, Immort, and Grace Merche Luzlek. And then White used to be a Slayer, but we can't really count Joaquin anymore unless he gets his powers back. And then of course there's Karaka. So yeah, I don't know about their strengths. We really don't know much of enough to say right now, except that I would say that Grace Merche Luzlek is likely overwhelmingly strong as the leader. I would say that Baylord Yama's probably pretty dang strong as well. Raideku said, hey man, nice video. Thank you so very much, Raideku. Cycle 113 said about the first part of the Every Anime I've Ever Seen 250 sub special video. Wow, an hour long, gonna need to grab some coffee. And I was like, yeah, but at least I split it into 3 parts. Like, recording, editing, and posting a 3-hour video would have been crazy. And I knew after writing just a third of what I needed to write, like taking notes on, I was like, I've taken notes on stuff for at least an hour. I was like, I'm going to need to split it into 22, 22, and 22, because there's no way I'm doing this all in one video. It's going to be like 3 hours if I do. So yeah, that's why I decided to split it into three, just because it would be crazy. And like, it's easier for you guys, I think, too, to sit through an hour-long video here and there than to sit through a 3-hour video. So yeah. Anime Watcher said Uraraka's goal is to provide for her family, or Uraraka's goal to provide for her family is the first sign that she isn't going to be Sakura 2.0. I have a theory that when Horikoshi was thinking about Uraraka as a character, he reread Naruto to understand the direct no-nos on how to write an action female character. On a related note, that's one of the biggest reasons why I love Tower of God so much. The female characters are badass and sexy. Yeah, I do not understand it all, because the Japanese fans voted in Jump for the most annoying female manga or anime character, at least I think it was in Jump, and they voted Uraraka, and Sakura was only like 7th or something. Sakura is horribly annoying. She's horribly written. She doesn't do anything but whine and cry throughout Naruto. She has one good arc, being the Kazekage rescue arc, and then other than that, she's just sadly just terrible. What word am I thinking of that starts with a D? Just a depressingly bad character? I don't know. I was thinking of something and I kept like stuttering and getting messed up. I was thinking of something with a D there. Depressingly bad. But that's a thing with Naruto as well, though. Like, if you have ever read or watched Naruto, and I guess a lot of you probably maybe have, Naruto, what was the author's name? I don't even remember anymore. It's been so long. But Naruto has terribly written female characters. Like, the female characters in Naruto are weakly written. Like, it's very bad and really noticeable as well. I'm trying to think of sometimes there's like this manufactured badass moment, but it doesn't feel real. I'm trying to think of a real, actual, focused, good female character in Naruto, and maybe Konan is the only one that I can think of. And even then, she just got shoved to the side and killed off and spoilers, and didn't really matter anything anyway. Like, she was just kind of a vague side character almost. Like, really, Kirishima, that was his name, right? No, it isn't. It can't be. Something like that. I don't know, I don't remember. But he did terrible at writing women. Like, female characters in Naruto are trash. Also, I really like Uraraka. I don't get at all this whole annoying thing that the Japanese fans voted for. I don't get it at all. Then again, the Japanese fans have voted multiple times that Sword Art Online is one of the best anime, and as we all know, Sword Art Online is one of the worst written pieces of anything ever. Sword Art Online is to anime as Justin Bieber is to music, or Twilight is to novels, I guess. It's like really poorly written, but it gets really, really popular with like the 12-13-year-old crowd because they haven't experienced that much music, so they see this thing that their friends show them that's marketed to them to be hip and trendy, and then they really like it, and then they get a year or two older and don't care about it anymore. And that was the same thing with Twilight. These really, really young girls got really into it and then just fell out of it. They didn't care anymore. And that's kind of what has happened with Sword Art Online as well, because after the first season, there are still a couple diehard fans, but after the first season, when do you really ever hear about it anymore, other than that it's bad? Andrea Zapita said, get well, and thanks, I'll try, and I have tried, but I'm still not there. But yeah, I'm trying. I just don't even know what's wrong. I've had a fever in like the hundreds for since last Wednesday night, and still today. I just took my temperature a couple hours ago, and it's still like 99.8, I think it was. Fahrenheit, of course. I know some of you use Celsius likely. Andrea Zapita said, also, Sister Nana and Winter Prison are adorable together. Yes, best couple. On the side there. Calamity Mary thought of Magicaloid 44 as somebody similar to her. That's why she liked her. And I love how Alice wrecked Calamity Mary more mentally than physically. And I did and they said, I really, really want to know more about the twins or whatever the angels are. Ripple did have it pretty bad in her childhood. I'm not very good with sexual harassment towards minor like that, so I felt terrible when I saw that scene. Yeah, I feel like most people did. Hardcore Alice is a yandere for Snow White XD, and yeah, I kept saying that in my review that she was the yandere. Top Speed is still my waifu for lifu. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil you, but if you read the novels, can you make reviews of each chapter or volume? I read the first 3 volumes, and I'm going to read the specials called episodes. And right now, hard for me to say who waifu for life is. Nemarine for me still kind of holds the top spot in my heart. But I have a thing for Winter Prison. I don't know the sort of boyish short hair thing. I don't know what is up with it, but in anime girls, I don't know. I'm kind of into that. Also, I said, I have never been more physically attracted to a girl as when Cranberry was beating LaFacelle's face in. That, I was like, oh yes, Cranberry, my girl. So emotional waifu, Nemarine. Physically attracted to them waifu, Cranberry, oh my yes. And Winter Prison's a little bit of a mix of both. Also, I said about the novels and stuff, I really do want to read the light novels once the anime ends because it seems like a really interesting series to me. So once I do read them, I can make videos on them, but I don't know if I'll do it like a normal review or if I'll just not really worry about reviewing it, but just kind of have a discussion and talk about the volume. Or, either way, I just want to read them, and when I do, I'll likely want to make some kind of video. I just don't know if it'll be a review or whatever. And then maybe, I know I'm pretty sure they're on like their 5th survival game or something like that in the novels or whatever, so I'll just maybe do a video on my favorite and least favorite girls from each of the survival games. I have no idea. I'll have to read them and see what it's like. But yeah. Andrea Zapita said right now there are just 3 volumes translated and some of the chapters from the specials called episodes, and Nemarine is top waifu no matter what. I hope the anime does well enough to have volume 2 become an anime. I hope so too. I hope, that's what, when I looked it up and I was trying to avoid spoilers, but I wanted to see how long the series was, but looking it up and seeing that they're on their 5th survival game or something, that got me hopeful for once this survival game is done in this anime, maybe we have at least 4 more anime to come, at least, or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't read. I'm waiting until the anime ends before I read, though, so that I don't spoil myself on anything to come in the anime. They also said, I love to see the characters in their normal lives, since in so many anime series they don't do that. Yakui said, the fuck you talking about? Okay, calm down, bud. Be a little less aggressive. But they're every magical girl show has that. Pretty much every magical girl is just a normal, blank schoolgirl running to school with toast in my mouth by day, fighting evil by night, desu. But, yeah, what Andrea Zapita said they meant, and I didn't really feel the need to get anything because they explained it pretty well, was that it's the type of anime that they don't bother to give much about the characters in their normal lives. And the reason I wanted to bring this up and discuss this is because that's a problem not just in this type of anime, but that I see a lot in anime where we get into something, and while I do like the plot line, I like say freaking Bleach or something, Ichigo going out to the friggin' Soul Society and doing some arc or something, it seems like in a lot of these anime we get into these long adventures and stuff, and while I love this long adventure, you're left wondering, what about their real life? Don't they have school to go to? Don't they have family? And Bleach maybe wasn't the best example for that, but don't they have family? Don't they have school? And I would like to see a bit more of them balancing these adventures with their real life, and not just going off on the adventures and just saying, they were gone for 3 months and real life is perfectly fine when they come back. No way, family would be freaking out, school would be freaking out. So I would like to see a bit more of their normal lives instead of just breezing over that. I know, again, that's not really the way that my Shoujo Ikusei Keikaku does it per se, but I do feel like I would like to see more of their real lives. Magic Me said, while I was watching, I also forgot that Calamity Mary had the infinite bag, and yeah, I had to go back in and edit in to my review video because I was I don't know where Mary gets all these weapons, and then I edited in. I noticed while I was editing that she actually has the infinite bag. And yeah, I had totally forgotten until I was editing, because for some reason when I was editing, I was reminded of that fight scene. I went back just to watch it because I thought it was really good, and then I noticed that she had the bag, and I was like, oh right, how was I so stupid? So I had to change up the video a little. Ja Wangnan said Karaka is so strong. I can't believe that he or she was able to dodge Yuri's attack. The fight between Karaka and Yuri is absolutely insane, so that's how a fight between two high rankers looks like. Now imagine a fight between number 1 through number 20 in the tower ranking, what that would look like. They'd probably destroy the entire floor during a fight. And also they said, when was the last time SIU wrote a mediocre chapter? SIU's a brilliant author, and I agree. I love, and that's another thing about Tower of God, is consistency. It's way more consistent than even One Piece for me. One Piece is pretty consistent with the manga, but Tower of God's even more consistent. I love, absolutely love, almost every single chapter. But if I think back to the last time a chapter that instead of great or even good to me was just kind of okay, I think the last time I thought a chapter was just okay was like, remember earlier this year in like February or March, Tower of God took like 2 months off. I don't remember the time, sorry. It took like 2 months off or something. It was like a long time. But they took a hiatus between arcs, and when we came back, the first 2 chapters back was just Yuri talking about stuff, and we didn't have any real big reveals or anything like that for those 2 chapters. It was just 2 chapters of her talking about stuff, and there was this artificial hype, I guess, about her maybe going to fight Yu Han-sung, but she never went to fight Yu Han-sung, so like that whole hype was kind of for nothing. So those are the only chapters that I can think were meh that we've had in a long time. Because even before that, I think every chapter for the entire 3 or 4 arcs before those 2 chapters, like pretty much every chapter was great. Yodazuya White Bear Beppo on my top 25 favorite Pokemon from Generations 1 through 6 video. I'm going to plug my own video here. Go watch that, guys, if you want to. But on that video, Yodazuya White Bear Beppo shared their top 25. So if you want to check out and comment your top 25 there too as well, I say go for it. But they said their favorite is Dunsparce, and I love Dunsparce so much. Dunsparce wasn't on my list, but I actually think it was probably pretty close. I made a list of all 721 and just slowly eliminated bit by bit until I had 25 left. It took me a while to write mine. But I love Dunsparce because I think it was maybe my second time playing through Heart Gold, I soloed like the first 4 or 5 gyms using nothing but Dunsparce. So I have a connection to it because of that. Alex Roth said about my reaction to the leaked Pokemon Sun and Moon stuff, that Yeti crabs exist, lol. Because I'm pretty sure I said something about, are Yeti crabs a thing? And they said Yeti crabs exist, lol. And thank you, Alex Roth, because like me and my friends, I've just been sharing this around. I'm like, this is what my comment section looks like. Yeti crabs exist, lol. So you have become my favorite meme, Yeti crabs existing. So thank you. And also, good, thanks for the help, because I knew it was something I'd heard of before. Kate Krishna said, okay, this one, I want to put it in here, but I'm trying my best to not be negative or mean about it or anything. But they said, make reaction shorter. I don't fake the reaction, so I don't know how to do that. I mean, do you want me to just rush through? Like, if I'm reading something, do you want me to just read it super fast and not give any thoughts on it? Or do you want me to cut out a bunch of parts? Because I don't want to cut out a bunch of parts of, like, my reaction to reading something, because if I cut out a bunch of parts, what if the part I cut out was one of the parts that somebody wanted to see what I thought of? So, yeah, I'm sorry, but no thanks. And, I don't know, maybe I would be, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't be as prone to be rude about this if they would have said, hey, I have an idea, maybe you could try to shorten it or do this or this, but just make reaction shorter. I don't know, it just feels like so demanding. I don't know. Camilla Travella said, who's the real enemy in Mao Shoujo? And Malagore21 said Fav, so I guess it's Fav. There's your answer, guys. Raideku again said, I really hope the channel continues to grow. It has excellent arguments, and you see that you're a cool dude. So let's go. I'm your fan. Thank you so much. It means a ton. And I get comments like this quite a bit, actually, and that's what warms my heart about all this, because I was expecting, especially in my early days, I was expecting like every other comment to be, do you record with a potato? Or, man, this is terrible, or just cringy, or just KYS. I was expecting all my comments to look like that. And yet, no, they weren't. Like, pretty much every week, I'd get a couple comments that says, I really like your channel, I hope it grows, or, greetings from Argentina, I really like this, and just great, great comments like that. And I'm like, this is not what I thought it would be. This is much nicer. And I think a reason that some people, like, after having done this for a few months now, I think that the reason that some people's comment sections get like that is because they just they feel like nobody's watching, or the person there isn't watching or listening or responding, and people just post crap to each other and attack each other and stuff. And it's like, but for me, I never wanted my channel to be so impersonal as I just make video, you watch video. I wanted it to be more like I wanted to make videos based on your suggestions. I do the HaQ&A videos so that I can just talk to you guys each week. I really wanted to make as much of a connection as I could between me and you, and make sure you guys knew that whatever you said I should do for the channel or something, other than make reaction shorter, whatever you said for the channel, that it mattered, and that I was really seriously considering it, and that if you ever suggested a video within reason, I would eventually make it. Within reason, of course. So, yeah, that's my little spiel right there. But TK said, I'm still curious as to why Karaka has the same ring as Wangnan. And I said same here, but my discussion video, I made a discussion video on how I thought Karaka and Wangnan were related, and it's pretty old, so there's probably a lot of inaccurate information at this point. But I'm pretty sure I said I thought they were siblings, and I still do think they're siblings. I'm not sure why or how they would be siblings, but I do think that that's the solution. And there are a lot of fans, actually, that think Karaka is Wangnan, since we've never seen both at the same time, and they both have some similarities. And I guess that's true, because we left Wangnan on the Hell Train, Karaka comes out of the Hell Train. It's a pretty big stretch, honestly, and I kind of disagree with it, but, I mean, it's not impossible. We have nothing saying that it's impossible. Then Gal Anonym said, that hidden Uraraka, really nice chapter. It's really dangerous now for Bomb's team. And yeah, Yuri and Evan are powerful and quick, but when they do something, it's kind of explosive, so it's going to be hard for them to try to rescue the kids without injuring them, unless someone helps all of them. And I agree. I'm interested to see how it will all go next week. I really think they're high rankers. They should be able to do something to rescue them, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. And then last comment for this week. Anime Watcher said, what's your theory on what Karaka looks like? I think Karaka's female, blonde, wears pigtails, and flat-chested. Sounds like, what was her name? Sounds like Shiliel to me. But, good guess. It's actually kind of close to what mine was. And they also said, I'm surprised Karaka's giving Yuri an even fight. Guess that means Yuri would have no chance fighting Jinsung. And yeah, I think Karaka and her, like I said before, I think Karaka and Yuri are pretty evenly matched. And right now, Yuri seems a bit stronger to me just through this fight, but it's still pretty even. As for what I think Karaka looks like, I've always pictured Karaka as maybe a medium-build girl with longish blonde hair, like maybe a little past the shoulders, and the hair's around the color and waviness of Wangnan's a little bit. And I see her as like a female version of Wangnan. Like her appearance, like for body type, I say picture like the body type of Albelda, or the clone, or whatever you want to call her, Albelda clone. Picture her like if she had a kid with Wangnan. Like her body shape and maybe a little bit shorter than what her hair is and a little bit of a different texture, but with Wangnen's like hair and eye color and skin tone and similar facial features. I think she just pretty much looks like a female version of Wangnen. And also, I do think she's a woman. That's another thing. Karaka, to me, until I see Karaka without the mask, I'm not believing at all that Karaka is a guy. They've just, like I said, they kept the gender a secret for so long that I'm like, there's no way that it's going to be as simple as, oh, it was a guy all along. It's either, oh, it was a girl all along, or it's been a guy all along, and they've had Karaka hiding their gender for so long just to make everyone think that it's a girl. So, I don't know. I think personally that Karaka is going to end up being a girl. We already know, I think we've seen glimpses that Karaka does have blonde hair. We don't know what kind of blonde hair, but we know that Karaka has blonde hair, and also the same ring as Wangnen. That's why I think she's going to end up looking like Wangnen. And like I said, I think that she could end up being his sister some way or another. Okay, and as I was about to end this video, it looks like I got another comment. Hold on, let's see what's up with this real quick before I end this. Let's see. Okay, this is another one from Anime Watcher. They just said about my theory of what Karaka looks like that it sounds more plausible than theirs. Nah, yours does sound really good too. They also said, and this is something I brought up in the review, so I definitely want to put this in here. They said, I did some research, and the interesting thing I found about Ashul Edwaru, who created the 13-month series, and I wanted to put this in here because I was trying during the review to remember Ashul Edwaru's name, but I couldn't remember it, is that he was an original inhabitant of the tower, so if Edwaru did travel with Zahard, it had to be somewhere on the journey up the tower and not at the beginning. I imagine there'd be some sort of culture shock between Zahard and Edwaru in his book, since in his book Of the Tower's Weapons, he remarked about the weapons Zahard brought in worked with the air or in a vacuum, so they had to be redesigned to work in Shinsu. That's actually really interesting. I like the little lore things that SIU does for Tower of God. But also it also wouldn't be the first person that was born in the tower that traveled with Zahard, because I think the 10 family heads are the only ones outside the tower, so that means that Quadrado would have probably been born in the tower, and for certain we already know that Grace Merche Luslek traveled with Zahard and he was born in the tower. And that's part of why I think FUG might not be really that bad, because Grace Merche Luslek saw Zahard and the 10 family heads come into the tower and conquer it and take it over, and now Grace Merche Luslek, who traveled with them and saw all the bad things they did to conquer the tower, is like, we tower inhabitants need to take it back from the irregulars that came in here. We need to take it back for our people. So I think that that and like the 10 families are these huge groups now that rule over the normal people that were born and are native inhabitants of the tower. So I think Grace Merche Luslek may be like trying to fight and stand up against the sort of culture invasion of Zahard. So yeah, that was a really, really good comment and really good to discuss. It really brings up a lot that we don't know for the future about Zahard and who he traveled with. And that's all I got for this week, so I'm going to end this here. Again, not feeling so well, so I'm just getting through the video, but I really enjoy recording these. Like I've always said, these are my probably funnest to record to me. I really love just discussing your comments and talking with you guys, because there's only so much I can say like in words in the comment section, so to actually be able to talk it out here on video, I think it helps get ideas across a lot better. And it also helps you guys to have sort of a voice in the channel as well. So thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like this video. Comment down there if there's anything you want me to discuss next week, anything you thought about any of what we discussed today, and just pretty much anything you want to know, completely up to you to comment, I guess, and I'll talk about it. So whatever, like, comment, subscribe if you want to for all the things I talked about here and a lot more. Follow on Twitter as well, and I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff for the channel, and that's it. So thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.